The race session is at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Charlotte, USA. Steve Vagisil is P1. Longi from Australia is second. Gun 180 from Australia is third. Swooper 3 from Australia is P4. Lethal Force is fifth. Speed Racer from Australia is sixth. Etonic is seventh. Twisted Vine is eighth. Exilex from Italy is ninth. Exiled Reaper is 10th. Vagisil from Australia is 11th. Stu.M is 12th. Huggy 65 is 13th. SMC 535 is P14. K. Smith is 15th. Steve Vagisil from Australia is first. Race start. Longi is P1. Longi lost P1 to Steve Vagisil. Swooper 3 is P4. Lethal Force is fifth. Speed Racer is sixth. Etonic is seventh. Twisted Vine is P8. Exilex is 9, 0.1 ahead of Exiled Reaper. Huggy 65 is 10, 0.1 ahead of Exiled Reaper. Exiled Reaper is 11, 0.1 ahead of SMC 535. SMC 535 is P12, 0.2 behind Exiled Reaper. Stu.M is P13, 0.3 behind SMC 535. Vagisil is P14, 0.4 ahead of K. Smith. K. Smith is 15th, 0.5 behind Vagisil. Vagisil is P15. Best lap is a 0:34.647. 1.366 off the fastest lap. Vagisil is now 14. Speed Racer is P6, 0.2 behind Lethal Force. Stu.M is 11th battling Exiled Reaper. Exilex entering the pits is P15. Stu.M passed Exiled Reaper for 10. Exiled Reaper is 11th, 0.1 behind Stu.M. Vagisil is P12 battling K. Smith. Exilex exiting pits. Lethal Force is 5th. Best lap is a 0:33.631. 0.350 off the fastest lap. Speed Racer is 6th, 0.3 behind Lethal Force. Eatnik exiting pits. Stu.M on lap 8 is P9, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Stu.M was 0.6 faster last lap. Exiled Reaper is P11, 0.2 ahead of Vagisil. Vagisil is P12, 0.2 behind Exiled Reaper. Lethal Force is P5, 0.2 behind Swooper 3. Speed Racer is 6th, 0.3 behind Lethal Force. Exiled Reaper exiting pits. Stu.M is P9, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Twisted Vine exiting pits. Swooper 3 is P5. Exiled Reaper exiting pits. Speed Racer is 6th, 0.4 behind Swooper 3. Stu.M is P9, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Speed Racer is P5, 0.1 ahead of Lethal Force. Exiled Reaper entering the pits is 14th. Stu.M is P9, 0.2 behind SMC 535. Speed Racer is P6, 0.3 behind Lethal Force. Vagisil entering the pits is P11. Stu.M is 9th, 0.2 behind SMC 535. Exiled Reaper exiting pits. Speed Racer is 5th, 0.2 behind Lethal Force. Vagisil exiting pits. Stu.M is 8th, 0.2 behind SMC 535. Evo Jair exiting pits. Exiled Reaper entering the pits is 15th. Speed Racer is P5, 0.3 behind Lethal Force. Stu.M is 8th, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Exiled Reaper exiting pits. Evo Jair entering the pits is 10th. Gun 180 is P2. Lethal Force is P3, 0.3 behind Swooper 3. Evo Jair exiting pits. Stu.M is 7th, 0.2 behind SMC 535. Lethal Force is P3, 0.2 behind Swooper 3. Stu.M is 7th, 0.2 behind SMC 535. Lethal Force is P3, 0.2 behind Swooper 3. Stu.M is P7, 0.2 behind SMC 535. Exilex is P10, 0.5 behind Ethernet. Lethal Force on lap 19 is P3, 0.3 behind Swooper 3. Speed Racer is 4th, 0.4 behind Lethal Force. Stu.M is P7, 0.1 behind SMC 535. K.Smith is P8, 0.3 behind Stu.M. Evo Jair is 12, 0.3 behind Vagisil. Evo Jair passed Vagisil for 11th. Vagisil is 12th, 0.3 behind Evo Jair. Evo Jair was 1.1 faster last lap. Lethal Force is P3, 0.1 behind Swooper 3. to Vagisil is P12, 0.4 behind Steve Vagisil. Swooper 3 is P3, 0.1 behind Lethal Force. Speed Racer is 4th, 0.3 behind Swooper 3. Stu.M is P7, 0.3 behind SMC 535. Exilex is 11, 0.1 behind Steve Vagisil. Exilex is now P10. Speed Racer is 4th, 0.2 behind Swooper 3. Swooper 3 is 3rd, 0.4 behind Lethal Force. Lethal Force is P2, 0.5 ahead of Swooper 3. SMC 535 is 6th, 0.5 behind Huggy 65. Lethal Force is 2nd, 0.4 behind Longi. Swooper 3 is P3, 0.5 behind Lethal Force. Lethal Force was 0.6 faster last lap. Lethal Force is P2, 0.4 behind Longi. Swooper 3 is P3, 0.4 behind Lethal Force. SMC 535 is 6th, 0.5 behind Huggy 65. Lethal Force on lap 26 is 2nd, 0.4 behind Longi. Swooper 3 is P3, 0.4 behind Lethal Force. Speed Racer is P4, 0.1 ahead of Huggy 65. Huggy 65 was 0.7 faster last lap. SMC 535 is 6th, 0.1 ahead of Stu.M. Huggy 65 is 8th, 0.1 behind K. Smith. Swooper 3 is 3rd, 0.1 behind Lethal Force. Speed Racer is 4th, 0.4 behind Swooper 3. Vagisil entering the pits is 12. Huggy 65 is 8, 0.3 behind K. Smith. Swooper 3 is P3, 0.2 behind Lethal Force. Vagisil exiting pits. Speed Racer is 4th, 0.4 behind Swooper 3. Huggy 65 is P8, 0.2 behind K. Smith. Swooper 3 entering the pits is P8. Speed Racer is 3rd, 0.5 behind Lethal Force. Steve Jr. is P10. Best lap is a 0:33.281. Swooper 3 exiting pits. Lethal Force is P2, 0.4 behind Longi. SMC 535 is P5, 0.5 behind Stu.M. Steve Jr. is 10th, 0.5 behind Etonic. Lethal Force is P2, 0.4 behind Longi. Huggy 65 is 7th, 0.5 behind K. Smith. Lethal Force is P2, 0.4 behind Longi. Speed Racer is 3rd, 0.4 behind Lethal Force. SMC 535 is P5, 0.3 behind Stu.M. SMC 535 was 0.9 faster last lap. Huggy 65 is P7, 0.4 behind K. Smith. Steve Jr. is P10, 0.1 behind Etonic. Steve Jr. passed Etonic for 9th. Etonic on lap 33 is 10, 0.2 behind Steve Jr. Speed Racer from Australia is P3, 0.4 behind Lethal Force. SMC 535 is 5th, 0.3 behind Stu.M. Huggy 65 exiting pits. Speed Racer is third. Best lap is a 0:33.621. 0.340 off the fastest lap. Etanek is P8, 0.5 behind Steve Ogier. K. Smith exiting pits. Speed Racer is P3, 0.2 behind Lethal Force. Etanek is P8. Best lap is a 0:33.692. 0.411 off the fastest lap. SMC 535 is 5th, 0.5 behind Lethal Force. Lethal Force entering the pits is P6. SMC 535 is now P4. Stu.M entering the pits is 3rd. Longi exiting pits. SMC 535 is now P2. Etanek is 8th. Lethal Force exiting pits. Lethal Force is 8th. Lethal Force lost P8 to Exilex. Stu.M entering the pits is 5th. Etanek is P7. Etanek is now P5. Longi exiting pits. Huggy 65 is P8. Best lap is a 0:33.896. 0.615 off the fastest lap. Stu.M exiting pits. K. Smith entering the pits is 14th. Swooper 3 is P3, 0.9 behind SMC 535. Etanek is P5, 1.3 behind Steve Ogier. Swooper 3 is 3rd. Best lap is a 0:33.515. 0.234 off the fastest lap. Lethal Force on lap 42 is P7, 0.6 behind Exilex. SMC 535 is 3rd, 0.2 behind Swooper 3. X Exilex is 7th, 0.5 behind Lethal Force. Lethal Force was 0.7 faster last lap. SMC 535 is P3, 1.7 behind Swooper 3. X Exilex is 7th, 1.3 behind Lethal Force. Lethal Force was 1.1 faster last lap. Huggy 65 is P8, 1.7 behind X Exilex. SMC 535 exiting pits. Evenik is 4th. Evenik passed SMC 535 for 3rd. Speed Racer exiting pits. Lethal Force is 5th, 0.5 behind SMC 535. SMC 535 on lap 47 is P5 battling Lethal Force. Lethal Force was 18.5 faster last lap. X Exilex is 6th, 0.5 behind SMC 535. SMC 535 is 5th. Best lap is a 0:34.231. 0.950 off the fastest lap. X Exilex is P6, 0.4 behind SMC 535. Huggy 65 is 7th, 1.1 behind X Exilex. X Exilex is 6th, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Longi is 8th, 0.4 behind Huggy 65. Longi was 0.6 faster last lap. Huggy 65 is 8th, 0.1 behind Longi. X Exilex is 6th, 0.1 behind SMC 535. SMC 535 is 6th battling X Exilex. SMC 535 passed X-Exilex for P5. X-Exilex is 6th, 0.1 behind SMC 535. X-Exilex lost 6th to Longi. Longi is P6, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Longi was 1.0 faster last lap. X-Exilex from Italy is P7, 0.3 behind Longi. Huggy 65 is 8th, 0.4 behind X-Exilex. Stu.M is P11, 0.3 behind Twisted Vine. Twisted Vine is P11, 0.1 behind Stu.M. X-Exilex is 7, 0.1 ahead of Huggy 65. Huggy 65 is 8th, 0.1 behind X-Exilex. Speed Racer is P9, 0.1 behind Huggy 65. X-Exilex is 9, 0.3 behind Speed Racer. Huggy 65 is 7th battling SMC 535. Huggy 65 passed SMC 535 for 6th. SMC 535 is 7th, 0.2 ahead of Speed Racer. Speed Racer is P8 battling SMC 535. Speed Racer passed SMC 535 for 7th. Huggy 65 is 7th battling Speed Racer. X-Exilex is P9, 0.2 behind Huggy 65. Huggy 65 is 8, 0.1 behind SMC 535. Swooper 3 is P1. The leader has just finished the race. Swooper 3 finished P1. Longi finished 5th. Twisted Vine finished 11th. Speed Racer finished P6. SMC 535 finished P7. Huggy 65 finished P8. Vagisil finished 12th. X-Exilex finished 9th. Steve Evo Jr is P2. Steve Jair finished 2nd. Exiled Reaper finished 13th. Lethal Force finished P3. Eatonegg finished P4. Stu.M finished P10.